Hey there, Capricorn! Welcome back to my channel. If you enjoy my reading, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as leave me a comment and let me know if this reading resonates with you. Alright, so this time we're going to do a traditional reading and a love reading. So, of course, down below I'm going to put the time where you can go in and click on the love reading if you'd like to. I just wanted to go ahead and thank everybody, all my Capricorns, so much for all the likes, shares, subscribes, and, you know, just for watching my videos to the end. It seems like Capricorn is the only search terms that I have. It's the only statistics that I can even look at. So, thank you Capricorns and cross-watchers of Capricorn for hooking it up. Alright, so the one that seems to be doing the best is the Narcissistic Love Readings. So we're going to do first traditional cards. Alright, we've got the Judgment card just jumped out. This is going to be the answer to your question. Whatever it is that you're, that's been burdening you, anything that you have been wondering, this is going to be the answer right here in the center. I'm going to pull more than one card. This is just the first card, okay? And the Four of Swords, or Blades in this case. And we also have the Heirophant, alright? And that's in your past. Okay, and for your factors affecting the situation, we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is also has to do with, it's reversed, alright? So, Five of Pentacles reversed has a lot to do with the way that you're dealing with a lot of challenges. Things are not going smoothly for you. But don't worry, because those type of challenges are exactly what's going to give you strength. Learn from your mistakes, though, okay? We have to learn. Oh, I got another jumper. Let's see what it is. The Page of Pentagrams. Alright, so it looks like we've got some folks that don't really know what in the world they're getting themselves into. Alright, so that's a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and let me get a drink of my coffee. If you'd like to go ahead and pause the video and get a coffee or tea or something to drink. You like my fake makeup? I actually put real makeup on today, but I accidentally hit go before I don't really like this crazy pink color, but let's see. It's giving me an eyesore. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's take a second and pull some love cards. So Judgment is the answer to your question. So the Judgment card has a lot to do with, you know, going through a lot in your life. The Judgment card is one of the last cards in the deck. So once you've actually gotten that far in life that, you know, other people's judgments, maybe you've learned from them. Maybe you learn from other people's mistakes. Lots of people have family and friends that go to them and try to convince them that, you know, not to make the same mistakes they did, but unfortunately most people really have to kind of go through it themselves in order to learn from it. There's a couple things that I don't know, I'm just not all about. You know, if my mom comes to me and says, "Stacy, darling, don't do that," it's gonna end up bad. I pretty much will listen to her, because I don't really like jail time or repeating mistakes, or, you know, if I just don't do that, you know, like they say, hey, you know, don't mess around with your best friend's ex-boyfriend. It's not gonna work out good for you. Alright, we had one jump out, the Bluff. Alright, underneath the Judgment card we also have a Liar. You may be lying to someone, or someone may be lying to you. And this person is definitely a narcissistic manipulator and emotional triangle, half-truths. So if this isn't you and it's not the person that you are in love with, this could be something, could be the answer to your question. Somebody's manipulating you. Something. Or you're manipulating someone. This could be a warning for you not to be caught up in lies, not to be lying to people, because you can catch up to you, okay? It really can. Alright, so for your Four of Blades, we've got the Lover's card that goes with it is trauma blocks, therapy, journaling, blackout anger, struggling, not dealing with loss. Alright, so that's a pretty good trauma block. Trauma blocks are like whenever you experience a traumatic something and you're not dealing with it. You might be taking a bunch of drugs or doing any number of things to bury this pain so that you don't have to deal with it. But the best thing to do is, turn on some music that makes you get it out of your soul, get it out of you. Take that pain and, turn it into a callus. Let it become okay again, because it's only going to continue to thwart your moving forward if you don't deal with it, okay? If you don't deal with the pain. Alright, we've got an angry. Next to the Hierophant, we've got angry. Put the shoe on the other foot. If you feel like you're angry all the time and you don't really know why, it says change your outlook on life and put your shoe on the other foot. I know that's hard. I know it. That's okay. We're still going to go back and read the definitions of each one of these cards in case you don't know. So the Hierophant is like the preacher, but in this card it's the reaper. Someone who comes and pretty much is telling you it's the end of your days. Your time is over. I hope you're ready to move on because your time's up. Alright. Alright. But it also can be someone who doesn't listen or want to see things any other way. Hurtful. Alright, now this one goes with the Five of Pentacles, and this has to do with factors affecting your situation or people who are causing you challenges, because the Five of Pentacles is all about challenge. And it's reversed though, okay? So you might be coming out of these challenges. Maybe it was financial difficulties, maybe it was issues, but you're finally figured out how to come out of it, but you're still feeling hurtful for some reason. When responding to harsh words, be sure to pause and think about how it affects you. Alright, so if you're having someone who's just giving you hell, just be careful how you respond. Don't allow yourself to be overly sensitive. If someone's trying to give you solid advice, listen to them, even if you don't want to hear it. Alright, let's shuffle these one more time. And then we've got the Page of Pentagrams for your future. This is your future card right here. Alright, future card for Capricorn. Capricorn. Future. Alright, I'm calling out to the guides for you now. One jumped out. Alright, so we've got a Casanova. Somebody who really likes to be very flirty. They're very full of themselves. I immediately think of Lucifer from the TV series Lucifer. Not from, well, yeah, he's very much like that too. Supernatural's Lucifer is also very haughty, just like expecting the best, you know, it's called a coquet, but it's also the lady killer. So, a player, someone who, you know, they're just very cocky and full of themselves, very flirtatious and vain. You want to be careful for these type of people because they are always, they'll hurt you, you know, they'll leave you hanging. Alright, and it's next to these two goofballs, so I can't wait to see how that works out. Alright, and I also want to pull, we're going to go ahead and read these cards, and then we're going to do a Grimm card. So I cut a whole new 2 pages. So what I do is I take the cards and I chop them up, a whole piece of paper, a black page, and so I did 2 new pages, so it's probably like 20 new cards. It took me all morning to write the new Grimm cards out, but I'm sure that you're gonna love it. So the Judgment card is first, and it's right there with the lies. Someone is bluffing to you, or you're lying to someone who is judging you. Sometimes that's, you know, that's something that you have to do to if someone is going to lay judgment down on you, you do find yourself lying to them because you just don't want to hear it. You know, you don't want to listen to them meandering on and on about things that you can't really change or do anything about. Alright, so I want to show you this. So this is the last card in the deck, right here. The World. And Judgment is the card right before that. So basically what this is saying is that you've already been through all of this. You've learned that much, okay? So the tarot card for Judgment is all about reckoning and atonement. The Archangel Michael wishes to bring an end to humanity's time on Earth through the apocalypse, but ultimately he finds his own awakening when Castiel forces him to confront the truth of God's nature. I gotta get some coffee. I know it's like 400 degrees in here, but for some reason I want coffee. Okay, and this one is upright, and it says, the message of the Judgment tarot card is loud and clear. I got a hair in my mouth. What you reap, you sow. The time to sow is now. Alright, so in other words, whatever you're planting, if you're planting seeds of despair, you're going to get despair. If you're planting seeds of positivity, you're going to get positive. Alright, so what you reap, you sow. And reaping is putting a seed in the ground. Sowing is pulling it up. Alright, I know that most people know this, but I have some youngins on my page that don't. They'd be like, what does that mean? So that's why I'm telling you. The time to sow is now. As one cycle begins to come and another to end. Balance intuition with logic. To make a decision, you make time to really think through any and all possible repercussions of your actions to avoid regrets later. Alright, so this is a very, very good point right here, that you reap what you sow. Whatever you put out, it's coming back to you. Alright? And this is even more important than actually reaping what you sow. If you plant seeds of corn, you're not going to get sunflowers, right? No, you're not. But if you plant negative seeds of doubt into your family, into your friends, they're going to be negative and they're going to be doubtful back to you. Alright, so always, you know, be careful what you're saying, what you're doing, because your actions are going to come back to you. Alright? And sometimes it's tenfold. Most of the time it's tenfold. Okay? Alright, so, I gotta scoot up a little here. The sun's blinding me. Alright, so let's take a look. For the factors affecting your situation, we've got the Four of Blades reversed. And in case you're not familiar with Supernatural, that blade right there is the blade of Cain. And And it has to do with trauma blocks. All right, so traumatic events in your life that you are blocking out. You cannot continue to block out your problems, because if you're only hiding them, putting them on the back burner, there's a certain point when you can't wallow in self-pity or any kind of, you have to deal with your emotions. You have to let it out, but you don't want to wallow in it either, okay? So there's a balance there. Just, let it come out, but don't let it control you, right? That's the thing, is if you ignore it, then one day you'll be driving and for example, whenever I lost my mom, I couldn't even drive without turning the radio on, because any song I heard just made me cry. And I thought, well, if I listen to the heavy metal station, I'll be okay. And I had just pretty much not even been thinking about it. I was so afraid that I was going to have a seizure if I tried to deal with it, that I just didn't deal with it. So then one day I turn on the heavy metal station, I'm jamming out, here comes Ozzy. He's singing about his mom. Mama, I'm coming home. And I start crying, and I'm driving, and I just thought that I would be okay. But, that's why you have to deal with things that bother you, so that you don't get caught off guard, like walking into the Dollar General at Christmas and you miss your loved one so bad that you start crying whenever you see Christmas decorations. And this is from my experience. But whatever it is that's plaguing you, you may not realize what it is yet that is going to trigger you. You may, like when my grandma passed, I was just sewing, and I really wanted to call her and ask her a question, and I couldn't. And that's whenever it hit me, and I had a full-blown mental break. I wasn't driving, but it was still no good, because I was sewing, and I had something that I was literally sewing my pants together for a job. So I don't need to be falling apart at this time, but it happens like that. So we try to block traumas, but they come back. All right. So according to this, it says the Four of Swords reversed says, when reversed, the Four of Blades tarot card represents deep exhaustion, burnout, that comes when we don't give ourselves the rest that we require. You've been fighting hard for a long time, and you feel as though you have nothing left to give. The Four of Blades suggests to take a moment and rest. Gather your strength before carrying on. The end is in sight. Give yourself one last break before the final push. Okay? So maybe you've been working a lot of overtime, or maybe you've just not been working. I know that actually I've been unemployed, but whenever, we purchased a machine that allows me to print my artwork out, so I don't actually have to draw it. I can print it out and then paint it. And I've found myself not taking breaks, not giving myself a chance to recoup. Every day I'm just, so I finally said, you know what, Saturday and Sunday are my days off. Not doing anything that day. I'm going to do my readings on the middle of the week, and I'm going to post them before the weekend, and the weekend is going to be my day off. No excuses. I'm going to take time and rest, or go and have fun or whatever. And you have to force yourself whenever you've been living in pandemic land to do something better with your life and not sit at home, right? Alright, so the Heirophant. This is your past. You had maybe been dealing with some anger, maybe resentment. You might need to put the shoe on the other foot in order to see where others are coming from. We've got the Heirophant card right here next to it, which basically is the Reaper saying, hey, it's time to go, and I hope that you have crossed all your I's and dotted all your T's, because it's time. So let's see what the Heirophant actually has to say upright. Alright, it says the Heirophant respects, values, traditions, order, rules, much like Billy the Reaper, and later the new death, who takes her role as the keeper of natural order very seriously. Okay, so the Heirophant card advises you to put order to chaos using time-honored structures and traditions. Now isn't the time for rebellion and questioning. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I had something big fly in front of my window, and it kind of freaked me out for a second. Is that some kind of buzzard? All right. Now isn't the time for rebellion and questioning the status quo. Showing respect for the established institutions and hierarchies will benefit you in the long run. All right. So, I just feel like this is I highly disagree with this, but the card says put your shoe on the other foot. So maybe you're like me and you feel like a rebel, like you want to rebel. Like, here comes the Reaper and I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna let the Reaper drag me off to hell, right? Hell no. But put your shoe on the other foot. Now, that could mean that it's time to take into account some of the lessons learned in life, and maybe it's not a good idea to fight the Hierophant, okay? Some people just don't listen also. There's some people, especially religious people, which even though this is representing the Grim Reaper, the Hierophant is really the Pope. Alright, so you're not really going to get through to some people. You're not going to change them. So don't even try, okay? It's not even worth it. And then we've got especially if you've tried before and they never listened. Why would they start listening now, right? So then we've got the Five of Pentacles. And it is reversed, okay? And then we've got Hurtful. And this card is a relationship card, a lover's card. So you may be hurt by something that your lover said or harsh words. Now, if you're in a relationship and your lover says hurtful things to you, like a knife right in there, tell your lover. Say, you know what? Especially if you're going into a new relationship, maybe you're meeting new people, maybe you're single. And if you're going into a new relationship, tell your lover that you don't want that type of relationship where you take in this pain and force it upon each other. You don't want that kind of hurt, like what do you call it? Triggers. Like if you're the only person that can trigger me that bad is my siblings. They were raised with me. They know what gets under my skin. They can really, some of them, not all of them really know my triggers, but the ones that do really know how to twist that knife to get it to pissing me off. So, don't let these type of people get under your skin. Don't allow them to have control over you, because when you do, you're putting yourself at risk. Alright, so let's take a look at the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Alright, so this one is reversed, and it says, when reversed, the Five of Pentagrams indicates a foundational instability. Referenced by the upright Five of Pentagrams is ending. Hardships don't last forever. The reversed Five of Pentagrams comes as a sign of relief, and it heralds the end of a difficult time. So this pain and this hurt that you've been feeling, this when responding to harsh words, be sure to pause and wait. This is coming to an end. Alright, it's coming to an end. The moguls, I think that I had this card last week. And it is really strange how I get the same cards and over for the same signs. It's very strange. Page of Pentagrams. Alright, y'all, so you need to get over this mogul so that I can move on to different cards. Page of Pentagrams. Alright, so in this picture you've got these two goofballs, and I can't remember who they are for the life of me. We're about to find out. It's reversed though, so we're going to read the upright first just to give you an idea. It says, the Page of Pentagrams tarot card represents the beginning of the new business venture. Ed and Harry turn their passion into paranormal investigation. Okay, so these are Sam and Dean's biggest competition. They're trying to beat them to the job. So they're ghost hunters, and it says here, have you been feeling unmotivated? Unsure of how to make progress in your career or manifest your money? The Page of Pentagrams reversed indicates that you might not be spending your time in the way that will ultimately benefit you the most. If you've lost your passion for your job, or if it may be time to think about making a change in your professional life, consider taking a new class, signing up for inspiring seminar to spark your fire again. Okay, so a lot of you people may not know me personally, but I have tried over and over different things that haven't worked out. How long do you hang in there and, give it a couple years, see if it works out? If it doesn't, maybe move on. So I have a bachelor's in IT. I've never been able to get an IT job. I have never been able to even get fast enough internet to get an IT job. Working from home. There's no IT jobs locally. And so I've started looking towards psychology. Speaking of which, I actually made these cards, my narcissistic tarot cards, in order to kind of decide whether or not I want to become a psychologist. So we're going to pull a narcissist card. This is just one narcissist card. Mainly because you've got trauma blocks, you've got anger, you've got hurtful, you've got bluff, you've got coquet, you've got like this Casanova card over here, and then on top of that you feel like you don't even know what you want to do anymore. You just don't even know. So let's pull a narcissist card and see. Whether you've been in a narcissistic relationship, or you were raised with narcissistic parents, or maybe there's someone that you work for fake. Alright, so right here on your first card, the answer to your question, you've got the Judgment card, this dude looking super pissed off. You've got the Bluff card, somebody's lying to you, or you're lying to someone. And then you got the fake. And then for the trauma blocks, and the Four of Swords, we've got sociopathy. Someone who cannot be born, it says someone is not born a sociopath. So you are indeed born a psychopath, but you're not born a sociopath, okay? You have to become a sociopath. So ADHD, ADD are symptoms of hyperactivity, lack of direction, struggle with patience, focus, and anxiety. Sometimes comorbidity, operational defiant disorder, ODD, cold, callous, enjoys negativity, alright? These type of people that enjoy negativity, it's for the birds, okay? It actually hurts you when you have this type of negative vibes around you all the time. It actually is bad for your body. So, please, they get pleasure from irritating others. Alright, and this is from Tamara Hill, Dr. Ramani. So what do we do about it? When dealing with a narcissist, you may have to deal with the drug abuse or alcohol abuse. You cannot cure a sociopath. They won't change. But they only will tell you what you want to hear. So the only way that you can come out of sociopathy or psychopathy is by having a loving environment, loving parents, loving family, a loving lover, and good friends that have your back. Okay? I have dealt with a lot of people who have just really gone off the wagon. Like, so far off the wagon that you can't even get through to them. And some folks have called me Captain Save-A-Ho. It's okay. Sometimes you just have to save people, you know? Even if you know you can't get through to them, you still want to try. That's just who you are. But, you know, if this is you and you're feeling like you can't get out, like you're stuck, like you're struggling, then just keep moving forward. And for number one, stay positive, okay? Don't be negative. This goes with the trauma blocks card. Okay, so there might be some kind of traumatic experience that has brought on this sociopathy, and if it's in yourself, then you really have to take initiative to focus, especially if you're allowing yourself to this lack of direction to really, really mess with you, okay? Narcissist plays the victim. Oh, ooh. Okay. Stages a crime to make people feel bad for them. Narcissistic husband. Here's some examples, okay? Narcissistic husband fakes a painful injury, calls the police, and then the wife calls the police after hurting herself. They both get charged. Okay? This is an example of a narcissistic relationship. Alright, clerk figured out that she was getting fired and then sent herself flowers to make her fellow employees and her bosses feel bad for her, thinking that she had made a loss, that she had a loss. How do you deal with a victim mentality? Alright, take action to change your ways. Alright, you can't allow yourself to become stuck in victim mentality. You can't allow yourself to have a constant pity party going on. I can even hear my own mother saying, Stacy, you cannot be crying. Sometimes everybody has to cry. Everybody has to get that off their chest. But sometimes, you know, you have to put it on the back burner. You have to push it, back. You can't allow it to take over you, especially if it has to do with paranoia that's not based in reality. Just because I didn't. Projecting. Alright, so this is hurtful behavior, and the Five of Pentacles card. This one was saying that you can't be stuck in this rut forever and things are going to change. Well, if you are indeed projecting, or if you're with someone who is constantly projecting their bullshit on you, then, it is very hard to break free from that. But, if you have broken free from it, or if, because it doesn't necessarily have to be your lover, it could have been your parents, it could have been your boss, or someone else in your life who's projecting their, like, I can always tell when my boss is projecting their bullcrap on me. I'm like, I don't even have kids, what are you talking about? But, they'll treat you like you're their child or something. I've had this happen to me. I don't even know what to do whenever your boss starts projecting. Just walk away. Just say, okay, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you feel that way. And walk away. Primary source of supply. Okay, so the narcissistic harem. Right, if you're not familiar with Angie Atkinson, she is a narcissistic, she has a channel on YouTube about narcissistic abuse. And, the narcissistic harem is a circle of people or friends or loved ones, basically the cheerleaders of the narcissist. A group of people that the narcissistic abuser uses to control others. The leader of the pack. The tool and the flying monkey. Alright, so the leader of, the actual victim is always the narcissist. And the primary source of the supply is usually the lover, the person who loves the narcissist. And they have to deal with gaslighting, love bombing, and they will try to change you. So you try to change so that they won't leave you. So the narcissist will always look for a better supply. They'll never be happy with what they have. They will always have victim mentality, bad guy, blaming others, and a savior enabler. Someone who comes along and is constantly helping the narcissist, enabling them to continue their narcissistic ways. Alright, so this one goes right here with this vain Casanova, which is a man. So this might be like a very obvious. And you know what, I'm getting the feeling like this is someone who's going up against you. Someone who is in your same field of work or same field of study, and they're your so this is Sam and Dean's, the people who are they're also ghost hunters. So Sam and Dean are ghost hunters, and these two are ghost hunters. So this person, this narcissist who's using people and taking advantage of people, this is someone who is going up against you. They're a player. They're playing you. Casanova, they might even be flirting with you. They might be vain. The lady killer. Alright? So this is definitely someone who's manipulative. So watch out for that. Now, I have to pull at least one Grimm card because I just redid this deck this morning. And I added about 20 new cards. So we've got the Three Little Pigs. Alright, now this is the original story of the Three Little Pigs. And the original tale says that the first two piggies are killed after the straw house is blown down. So maybe you need to make your house safer. Put an extra deadbolt on the door or something. Alright, but anywho. So, I'm not sure what the moral of the story is, but we've been going at it for 37 minutes, so I'm going to have to let you go on that note. If you are dealing with psychopathy, projecting, narcissistic people who play the victim, and or someone who is trying to take what is yours, then please see a professional and get some professional help, because these are professional type problems that are extremely difficult to deal with. And come back and see me next week for another narcissistic tarot reading.